My parents were incredibly generous people, and I learned generosity by observing them. So my father was the person who would write a check on a Sunday morning, and my mom's job was to pick up that check and put it in the offering plate when we got to church. The reason we did it that way is Dad often went on ahead because he had other things he had to do, and then Mom and the family, we would come a little later. I was a curious kid, so I would peek when nobody was looking. And I would have a look at the check and I would put it back very carefully from where I found it. And then one day that number on the check changed. It went up. Something was going on, and I didn't put it all together as a kid, but they modeled for me generosity. My grandmother would knit. She would make afghans. She would make doilies, and then she would sell these to people, and all of the proceeds would then go to her favorite charity. When her eyes and her hands didn't work all that well, she started to make stuffed animals, and she would sew it all together, and again she would sell them. I still have many of these things myself. They're very special. And I looked at my grandmother one time and I asked her, I said, "Grandma, why do you give all of these proceeds away? I mean, you could spend it on yourself. You could buy clothes, new furniture, anything." And I will never forget her answer. She said, "There are people who need it so much more than I do." In my parents' generation, they would give to a handful of charities. They knew them by name, and that was good enough. My generation, my kids' generation, we don't have that level of allegiance to a charity, but we're deeply passionate about causes. Whether that's clean water, whether that's food, we don't really care who's doing the work. We just want to support the cause to make sure that that is the problem that gets fixed. So that has changed. My wife and I, and she has similar experiences, have chosen that this is a legacy that we want to continue. I don't think I'm any more or any less generous than the average person. I think the difference is that I had people in my life who modeled generosity. When you have those kinds of stories, they leave a mark. People need role models, specific people that they know in their life who are in fact giving, who can set the course. In my case, it made a tremendous difference. We need to talk to people and invite them to be generous, even if it floors them a bit and even if it surprises them.